back to the trend. Today's trending topic is going to be creation of K-pop groups. The things that companies look for now and that I think they are trying to appeal to us are not necessarily the things that I like. Like, for example, I've seen plenty of groups with fully every member is a visual. They call it, oh, there's no visual hole. Babes, no one in that group can sing. Like, talk about there's no, they have no visual hole. Face card, like, they're an artist first. Like, what about the singing?
Dancing?
What about the dancing? What about the stage presence? Like, what is this?
Instead of being like, oh, this person's a really great singer, and this one's a really great dancer, and this one's the rapper. It almost feels like they're all very, very mid at all of the things, but like they don't necessarily excel at anything.
Yes. And these companies are prioritizing how they look more than they're prioritizing the skills. Like, why are these companies giving all these fucking idols veneers and a nose job and telling them, yes, debut, babe, they need dancing
if I
training.
underwent that, then I would expect to debut too. Like, you didn't slice up my face for me to then just sit in the dark still.
But that is not okay.
Yeah, it's not okay.
The way they said you're ugly, you need to, and then
sort this out, and then we can get you on stage.
And when I see the before and after pictures of these idols, and they look so cute in the before, where they had such like character.
Jesus Christ.
They had such like cute characteristic teeth. Like Nayeon's teeth, devastating. Obviously hers is not pre-debut versus post-debut. And if that's her insecurity, that's one thing. Yeah. But I hate when you can tell that it's like, they're so young, the company preyed on them.
What happened to growing into your face? Do you know what I mean? Like, especially that young, like, you have not even seen what your face will look like. You haven't even come close to it. Do you know what I mean? Like, now I kind of get, like, if that was her insecurity, like, she's a grown woman. Yeah. Like, it might change a little bit of her features, and you might miss that, like...
bunny teeth.
Yeah, but, like, it's not something where it's like, oh, that's gonna alter how she's gonna look for the rest of her life.
Yeah, and also, it's not like you need to do this to be successful. Like, she's already been successul, so hers is a little different. But I'm just saying in terms of, like, you see these idols have, like, the cutest little characteristics, and then they're just, boom, generic. Boom, white person face. Like, the structured nose and the veneers.
Sometimes people like the glow-up, too. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you've ever seen what Jack Harlow looked like before... compared to what he looks like now, and like he was people's white boy of the month for a whole year basically when he was popping off.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it's like, that's what you look like, but that's what you look like now. Like, good for you.
Again, growing into your features. Yeah. Like, bitch, my nose was huge when I was young. I mean, it still is huge, but it's a little less big now.
It's more
fitting.
But that makes sense.
That is not like a good reason to like someone. Is like, oh, their face card is crazy.
That's not gonna get them remembered as like an iconic group.
Yes, like you need to actually put the effort into dancing training, vocal training. Like, I'm tired of hearing these videos, which I don't know if they're actually like real or if I'm being like gullible, but like it's like the MR removed. And then it shows, like, a video of an idol. I'll insert one for reference. And you can hear what they actually sound like without, like, the backtrack. And it takes the backtrack out or whatever. And I'm like, this is horrible.
Like, my God.
This is horrible.
But also, that's why I find it so funny that people were so quick and so, honestly, pretty nasty to on Baby Monster. But I'm like... they actually can sing. Like, we were watching some of their training episodes, like, when they were being formed. Yep. They actually have... I think they actually have skill. You can argue that the music, whatever that, stole from Blackpink, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Check out our YG video girl groups, where we broke it down. But I was like, they're actually talented.
Yeah, but in terms of skills, like, you have to have the skills first, be pretty second.
Yes.
But these companies... yes. They know that they can get away with lip syncing and maybe kind of hiding certain members who dance worse in the back. They think they can get away with that.
But I also find that is, again, it's more for the company to make money, which duh. But I also find it more embarrassing for the idols themselves. Like, I'm sorry, but there's nothing worse than when you can see some of these idols, especially like when they win their little stage countdown awards. And it's like, you can see them, like, scared to start singing without, like, their song. It's because they know for themselves.
Yes. You know? It's giving that video of Priyanka Chopra, or whatever her name is. I don't know if you guys have seen it, where she's like, the fan's like, can you sing without autotune right now? And she's like, if the team can give me some, yeah, she's like, if you guys can give me some juice, like auto-tune. People say that juice means auto-tune, but she's like, yeah, if they can add some juice. And then she starts singing.
An encore of your performance without the music.
I can sing. Why, you want to test me again? Is that what you want to do?
It would also set the record straight if that's what you mean, but we would really like to hear that.
I can sing. I can sing just without the track for you, but not the.
But it's like you could tell, like she was one procrastinating, and two, like she was stressed.
Who was this?
Priyanka.
Nick Jonas's
wife. Give me some.
Okay, that's fucking.
I'll insert it.
Yeah.
But okay, hers makes sense. She's not a singer, right?
Yeah. She's actress first.
But for K-pop, like we need to bring back actually having the skills, and we need to bring back every member has a role, and maybe you're the visual member and you can't sing, and your role is being pretty good for you.
Yeah, but I only need one. And also, like none of this, like they might be uggo, so we're gonna slice them up and then put them out. You know what I mean? Like there's something endearing about the person that like.
Yeah, okay, also we should clarify that like obviously nobody's ugly.
Yeah,
like
I'm never that like, oh he's fucking fugly, blah blah blah.
Yes,
like.
and I think it was V who was like saying this, where he was like I think this is what he said, oh my god. If this is not what he said, then I'm a genius because I just made this up, but like being attractive and being handsome are two different things, so even if you're not conventionally attractive.
I fully agree with that.
Yes,
yeah.
Even if you're not conventionally attractive, or conventionally handsome, you can still be attractive if you groom yourself well, if you have really good style. Like those are things
you have
that
good energy. If you're talented at something, do you know how much more attractive that makes you?
That makes you sexy.
Do you know what I mean?
Sexy. I feel like these companies think that if their idols aren't conventionally attractive by their standards, that no one will like them. When it's in reality, like people in the West value different things, like especially skin color and things like that. Like we go feral for tan skin BTS members.
Yeah, well, I also find it funny because it feels like they're always trying to garner like Western fans, but then it's like again like they're not necessarily like, I don't want to say catering to Western standards because that's wrong, but it's almost like it would be better for the idol themselves and for the company if they didn't have to do that to those kids. Do you know what I mean? Because then it's like you would still gain a fan base overseas. But who knows? Maybe they're just trying to gain fans in like Asia and stuff like that. I don't know.
Yeah, and I hate when people remove like specific characteristics about an idol that like made them recognizable. Because it's like, I love when I'm watching a video, for example, and like height is something you obviously can't perform surgery on unless you break your legs and paralyze yourself. So it's like I love seeing like a particularly short guy, and I'm like, he's so short it's distracting. In a good way.
Well, it's also like I feel like that's how I learned names.
Yeah.
Like when she was first showing me BTS in what, like 2018, early whatever. I found a feature on each of them and I was like, okay, that's how I know this one, that's how I know that one. Like that's how I did it.
Yes.
Like, I used to get Jungkook and Jin mixed up so much, and then I was like, okay, wait, Jin has the pout, and then Jungkook has, like, a smaller upper lip, pouty bottom lip, and I was like, hey, that's how I know them. But if it's, like, they're gonna plump, or they're gonna shoot up Jungkook's lips with lip filler, I would have never known.
Yeah.
No, I would have not never known, but still.
Okay, and Hypen fans can kill me if they want to, but I think there's 2 Hypen members with nose jobs. I could be wrong.
Have the same nose?
It could be their natural nose, but I'm like, I can't tell them apart because their noses make their faces look similar.
Yeah. And again, like, I'm sure once for anything, once you become a fan of something, then you can tell it. But in terms of, like, making people iconic, do you know what I mean? Like, I just don't think that's a winning recipe.
Yeah, surgery, I mean, that's also like a cultural thing. I've never seen so many young people get lip injections or chin filler, Botox, this and that.
Women fall victim to beauty standards way more than men. But it's kind of like that conversation of like, okay, you have supermodel pretty, and now you just have like Instagram model pretty. And like, though, like that plastic surgery and stuff really is, like, that's going to push you into that category for sure.
The Korean version of that is like Gangnam Beauty. Like if you guys have ever seen My Ideas Gangnam Beauty,
don't.
Sorry.
I mean, if you like Chaehoon, watch it, but it's
no, because I mean, you know, it's so.
It was the best part of that show. I'm sorry, like.
I don't care what comes out of that man's mouth. I'm gonna be watching like drugs.
This is why people think if they're attractive. That's all.
Yes!
Because of people like you. You're talking a big talk, but your game isn't matching it.
I know. No, Chanu is the exception. Chanu is the exception because he's like extraordinarily beautiful. Like he's not just
And
a
he always looked like that. No, seriously, we were like looking at baby pictures of him, and I was like,
damn! Imagine being born with pretty privilege.
yeah.
Like coming out of the womb cute is crazy. And then we're like elementary school, teenager, adult, like every stage of his life he's been beautiful, and I don't know what that's like, but it's
Can't relate, but
it's really
good for him.
fascinating.
Yeah.
But again, okay, he's like extraordinarily beautiful. Like you have to be the Cha Eun-woo, you have to be the Wonyoung for your looks to carry you. Otherwise, babe, you gotta learn how to sing.
Yeah, but I'm also not gonna lie, like, I don't mean to trigger any of the fans, but like, just for an example, Wonyoung is someone I feel like I don't know her as being exceptionally a good singer or dancer or whatever. I just know her as the face. I'm sorry, because I don't know her for any of that stuff, the only time she ends up on my feed is when people are like kind of saying she doesn't have the best attitude or like whatever. Like I just saw this video and they were saying how I don't know the leader. She's an IVE, right?
Who? Wonyoung? Yeah, she's an idol.
Yeah, I don't know the leader of IVE, but they were basically saying how they're on an award show and Wonyoung was like constantly like 10 paces ahead of her group, always the first one to accept the award. And then there was one clip where the leader of the group, I'm sorry, I don't remember her name, was like kind of like running to catch up to do it first. And then people in the comments are like, isn't the leader supposed to be the one accepting the award? And they were like, yeah. Like that's not even her job. So that's what I'm saying, like pretty privilege doesn't save her from like at least the other accusations. I feel like it makes them more vulnerable to people disliking them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but maybe people also hate her because of how pretty she is.
That's true. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's not like, I don't hate the girl. I'm just saying I don't know any of her skills as like a forefront to who she is.
Yeah, that's true.
You know?
We, obviously, these are just our opinions, so if you have a different
we're
one...
just talking shit.
Yeah, we're just talking shit. But if you have a different one, that's always feel free to leave it in the comments. And I think people think that we think our opinions are set in stone for some reason.
Bro, like...
Bro, I flip my opinion, like...
so easy.
It's what
That's what normal people do, okay? When you're presented with new information, you adjust. You move accordingly.
Yes, and
okay?
people call it switching up, babe. Babe.
I know the switch up, like...
But anyways, so if you have your own opinion that you want to share, feel free to do so in the comments. And you know what? Maybe you're valid. Maybe you're not valid and I'll fight with you. But no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I won't bully anyone in the comments. It's a safe space. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please make sure to subscribe. We have a poll going up on our community page if you want to vote in for if you guys think that older generations actually had more skills involved than the new generations of K-pop. I think the happy medium though for both of like all generations of K-pop actually is like having the skills plus the looks, because I feel like Blackpink is a really good example of that, because I think it was YG and he literally said that like 21 he did not find attractive, but they were skilled. But then he was like, when I was creating Blackpink, I wanted them to be skilled and pretty, and that's what he did, and that's what we got. And obviously Blackpink, everyone knows how successful they are, so I feel like that's the ideal situation.
I think that situation protects the idols and makes the group and makes the company money.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, let's not act like 21 isn't iconic. But it's also, like, I feel like they were definitely more critiqued for how they looked and everything. Way more than Blackpink were. So.
Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Bye!